is our general board meeting for the month of December 2025, our last meeting for 2025. The time is now 7:10. We are gathering. Thanks so much for everybody for coming. Again, this is our last meeting. I want to thank everyone. Take this opportunity to thank everyone for all of your service, for your diligent attention to the attendance, to come to the meetings, to members of the community for coming and voicing your issues and trusting us to try and address them and advocate them. It's when we come together and have these conversations, this is where we move forward. They're not always easy conversations, but it's necessary. And I thank everyone for not finding it robbery to come to these meetings and trying to do things that'll put our community in a better place. Okay. The rules of order for the meeting. We're going to waive the reading of the rules for this evening. We're going to try to see if we can get everybody out in a timely fashion. For members, the rules are in the packet. For members of the public, they are also available on the CB9 website. Today we do not have any SLA or OCM applications. We are going to venture slightly. At this time, what I would like to do is take an opportunity. We're going to try something a little bit different. We would like for the chairs, the committee reports, if you have an announcement, to make that announcement at this time so that we can take maybe a couple of questions very quickly. And then we have a couple of voting items that we're going to take an opportunity to do those during public session. So those committee chairs for land use and for transportation, if you would just stand by, we will allow for a little bit of time to discuss that in public session, and then we will continue from there. Okay, so at this time, we do have a representative from the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs Committee, with a couple of announcements from there. Somebody come up, please.
Hello, good evening. My name is Abigail Tim, and I'm the co-chair for Parks, Recreation, and Culture. And right now what we are working on is having a visit to all our Community Board 9 parks and featuring events such as a film festival, yoga, soccer. We would like to host a basketball tournament. We would like to host a fashion show and an art show. We are also working on an interfaith conference as well as our biennial conference. And if anyone has any questions about any one of those, you could reach out to Nicholas Almanor or myself. Thank you.
Thank you. While we got there on the hot seat very quickly, are there any questions? We can entertain a couple of questions for the Parks Committee. Any questions? They're going to bring a microphone to you.
Of what you listed, where could we find a timeline in regards to how you plan on kicking those off? And are you also asking for volunteers or anything else?
We are asking for the community input, and we haven't had exact dates. We wanted to make sure we included every park in Community Board 9, but that's what we're actively working on right now.
How many parks do we have?
That's a good question. I'll get back to you with an answer.
Okay. Nice random fact. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me turn off one before the feedback kills us. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so we are going to get reports from land use and transportation, but before we do that, are there any other chairs of other committees who wish to make brief announcements? Yes, please.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Kendall Christensen. I chair the Environmental Protection Committee. Board members should have received a flyer from the office a couple of days ago announcing a tour of the city's recycling facility in Sunset Park for Friday, February 13th at 1 o'clock. Thank you. And it's the targeted audience for it because there's a limited number of spots available. Our community board members in Brooklyn and members of the Brooklyn Solid Waste Advisory Board have been members of that.
Could you speak up?
Beyond that, communities also interested in
Excuse me, could you repeat who the target audience is, please?
community board members throughout Brooklyn
Thank you.
and also members of the Brooklyn Solid Waste Advisory Board. Secondly, the committee is interested in tracking volunteer cleanup activities in the district, and I am aware of at least 2 and would like to hear about more if they exist. And the third is we're also getting to take a look at repair cafes that are sort of popping up in different parts of the city. And I know happening in the district, and would like to be connected to those as well. So thank you.
Bill, for you. Are there any questions for the chair of the volunteer?
Question. Repair Cafe. Some of the libraries are now hosting these sort of Saturday or Sunday events where people can bring in clothing that needs to be mended. They can bring in small appliances like lamps that need to get rewired. It's a way of sort of taking advantage of the skills that are available and keeping repairable materials out of the trash.
You have a question, Bill? Okay, thank you very much. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, Bill. Allison, this gentleman over there.
I mean, I can speak out loud.
Well, actually, we need you to do it just because of the live feed.
Oh, sorry about
Oh,
that. Sorry.
Hello, good evening. So when I attended the meeting this week, it was just a really good one. So thank you, Chair, for that, and also thank you for the time for the floor. I just wanted to ask, what are your thoughts on regards to flooding? Can you speak about that a little bit?
What are my thoughts about flooding? We should avoid it, but it's become a fact of life. The committee devoted a lot of discussion to flooding. I think it's a more complicated topic than we can go into tonight. We'll schedule some time for the board of discussion at a future meeting. But and working with talking to DEP and others, there have been some events sponsored around flood prevention and helping homeowners address certain issues. So again, it's a much more complicated issue. One thing that did come up is that you saw the headline this week that Project Park is working with DEP over the next couple of years to divert stormwater off of Flatbush into the park as a way of providing some mitigation for stormwater management. That's still a couple years away.
Thank you very much for that. And just as an additional comment, thank you for that question. And one of the things the office tries to do is compile information, especially if there are hot spots. Flooding is just a general issue, but if you are in an area where you continually get, if it's rain, there's very bad flooding, please make sure you let the district office know, so that way we can track that, and especially if there's ways to get catch basins maintained faster, or if there's certain areas we need to watch for, we can make sure that we're able to get the word out, whatever it is. But thank you for that question. Thank you to the chair for making that agenda.
Thank you.
Okay, any other chairs, last minute? Yes, I'm sorry, can I come up? Please come.
I just want to,
Well, they're gonna bring them.
remind everybody, before the holidays, we have 13 days before Christmas. Shop local, shop in your neighborhood. If you don't know where to go, the Economic Development Committee has a guide. So if you want to grab one of these, scan it. It has almost all the shops in the neighborhood. So that's it. I'm Vanessa, just reminding you to shop local.
Well, hold on, before you give them, Mike, any questions for Economic Development Committee? All right, seeing none, I also want to just take an opportunity to say thank you very much for your event the other day for economic development of small businesses in the district. Thank you very much to you and the committee. Okay, all right, seeing no others at this time, I would ask for, yes, if I can ask for the chair of land use to please come forward. So this evening, we will be hearing a BSA application that will be done. We'll discuss that, have a full discussion and vote on that. But also, if you could just discuss your opinions.
Sure. We have a request from a religious girls' school located at the corner of Troy and Carroll, it's 350 Troy Avenue. The yeshiva Beis Chaya Mushka is looking to expand the size of their building from 3 floors to 6 because they expect their population to grow from 500 students to 900 students. They also currently don't have space for a gym or a lunchroom, and some grades are combined. I see the head of the school here tonight, so I don't know if there'll be time for him to speak to the issue.
Sure, finish your presentation.
So the committee
wanted to make sure of a couple of things. First of all, that there was outreach to the neighbors, because it's a fairly sizable expansion. There's an apartment building behind it and one next to it, as well as homeowners on the block. So the school did do that outreach. They handed out flyers to the neighboring apartment buildings as well as to the neighbors, many of whom send their children to the school, so it's very much a local school. And we have not so far heard any complaints about the expansion. Also, we were concerned about how they would maintain safety for the students during the construction, because it is going to be going on while the school is in session. They have said they're going to try to do most of the construction during the summer, and they also put together a construction safety plan, which is included in the packet. So the committee was satisfied with all of those things and with the community's need for the expansion, and voted unanimously in favor, to recommend in favor of the variance.
Thank you very much for that report. You did say there's a representative as well from?
Rabbi Plotkin is here tonight. Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, if you wanted to say, any brief comments, we can receive those this time.
Good evening. That was a very nice summary of the meeting last week. We really appreciate the recommendation of the committee. Our school has really grown, and our students have very limited resources. Besides what was mentioned, there was a lunchroom and a gym. We also do not have a science lab, computer lab, resource rooms. Many of the facilities that this building has and all public schools have and many private schools have, our students do not have at this point because we have very limited space, and every available inch is literally used for classroom instruction, and they're doubling up for many other uses. So it will be a great relief to our current student body and will also allow us to accept siblings of our current families that are right now waitlisted. So it's something that we're really looking forward for, and we're try to be, and we believe we are good neighbors, and always good with all our neighbors, and that's why we have a lot of support. A lot of our neighbors have sent their own children to our school, or they work in our school. We are a very locally based school. It's not people coming in from other areas. It's all Crown Heights, and most of the student body and staff literally walk to school. They don't even come. There's no cars, there's no parking lots, there's no parking. It's just pedestrian travel. So we're looking forward. We appreciate the recommendation of the committee, and look forward to the recommendation of the full board tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Rabbi. Okay, at this time, are there any questions? Are there any questions as far as the application? Well, let me see. Let me take community questions first, and then we'll take the board first. Or if you can defer, we'll have an opportunity at the end. Any questions? Okay, hearing none. Is it okay if you can defer your question until the voting to the business session? Thank you very much appreciated. Okay. All right, we are now going to go, the other item we have this evening is for our transportation committee. I would ask if the chair could please give a presentation of the action item this evening.
Well, quick report. We've been working on a bigger response to the DOT's school safety plan for Brooklyn and Kingston Avenue on the Wingate campus. And in DOT's previous plan, they had proposed protected bike lanes along campus and bike lanes elsewhere. And our plan is a little bit different. We are instead proposing conventional bike lanes, not protected. We're proposing conventional bike lanes and not protected because we heard a lot of community feedback that showed us that people did not want to have their children running out across the street in that sort of culture fashion. And we wanted to also help reduce speed that instead of relying on the bike lanes by using raised crosswalks instead. We feel that that's something that the community in the area would be more accommodating to and work better for the area and essentially disrupt life a lot less while achieving the same results.
Okay, thank you very much for the report. It is going to be considered as part of the voting session. I would ask at this time, but if there are members of the community, as we know that you're not allowed to participate during that session. Are there members of the community who have a question at this time? We can take a couple of questions. Okay. All right, so we see you. Let me just take a quick list. Is there anyone else who has a question as well? Okay, we see you as well. Anyone else? Okay, we'll take those 2 questions and then we'll move on. If you could please give.
Good night, everybody. I was going to speak on it tonight about the public section. Why don't we as a community board ask them to put a hold on the bike lanes because of all the projects that we have coming around? Why don't we ask them to put a hold until we can assess everything? I'm going to speak on that about my public session tonight. Why can't we just put this on hold just to assess everything first before we go into sending revisions?
We did. It's on hold right now.
No, you're trying to send, I'm sorry, you want to send in a revision, am I correct?
We want to let them know what would work for the area and essentially get them to not implement the plan they currently have yet. Because it was initially planned to be done this year, and they've paused it as a result of all the work that we're doing.
But they're still going to implement something. There's still something going to be implemented, because right now, the protected bike lanes are on the table, correct?
And we're trying to get it off.
We're trying to get it off.
Get it off.
So so you're trying to send in a revision?
Yeah.
Okay, so why don't we ask for a pause or just oppose any bike lanes at this time until they assess everything that's going on in the neighborhood?
Because they could just say no to that and install the previous bad plan anyway. So I'd rather have them have a good plan.
I'm sorry, repeat what you just said?
Because they could just say no and install what they already have. So I'd rather have an actually good plan in front of them, so they don't do that.
So you're saying us as a community board, we don't have, you want to say, ask for a revision, because if we don't say something, it's going to be, they're going to do what they want. So why can't we send in an oppose, just to oppose everything at this time? My public comment speaks about that. Why don't we talk to communities and have and the other agencies work with the community to find out what's going on? Because how did this whole thing come about anyway?
I mean, it came about because...
It came about when I started as district manager. The principal at the Wingate School contacted me and asked for school safety changes. I went and met the assistant principal, Patrick, I think. Met him one day, we looked at it, contacted DOT. 2 years later, here's a plan. This all derives from a principal contacting me to make his school safer.
So you're telling me that the community board took a request from a principal
Absolutely.
of a school
Absolutely
that
we
was only
do.
in session at a certain amount of time, and then it was not asked for the community what we want or should we have it, but after the plan came about from their requests who do not live in this community, then whatever the plan that came about, then it was brought to us that this is what we want to do a year and a half later.
We absolutely took a request from a principal from the school. I mean, like, they are there every day overseeing your children. Like, I'm not there. They know what they need to make the school safe. Ask the principals. They know. Go to budget meetings. They beg and plead for resources. This is part of the resources that they want. I took the request and I would take it every day on this job. Because at the end of the day, a principal is talking about the kids in the school. I'm sorry, but that's where this derived from. I'm not going to change anything because this is exactly what happened. This committee did a good job for almost a year doing community engagement on this. Plan after plan after plan after plan. They had the Department of Transportation at their meetings. That's hard to do, by the way.
May I
They
interrupt?
gave
Dante.
visuals. Please let me finish. They gave visuals. Every change that this committee talked about. I'm saying for this board and for this community to work together, when I receive requests like that, this is action. I'm sorry, but this is action. I don't know how this board's going to vote, but as district manager, I did my job, I heard the request, and I will always stand up for students overall, period. That's it.
Okay, Dante,
I'm sorry, but
I'm sorry, I need to say one thing.
we can't continue because you've asked a question.
Because-
We've allowed a couple of you
Okay.
to follow.
And you're telling me with the safety of the students, they came up with bike lanes.
I'm sorry.
Instead of community protection with NYPD, you came up with bike lanes for the community. No, you have to do better.
All right,
That's
we did have-
safety, bike lanes?
We did have another resident as well.
Gotta be
You
different.
good? Oh, all right. Thank you very much for that. Okay, so we are going to be considering this item when we, as been recommended by the committee, when we get to the public session. Okay, all right, so we are done with that. We are now going to move on to the public commentary period. Public comment period is scheduled for 30 minutes exactly, and we'll conclude that. I would remind all speakers to please stay within the 3-minute time limit that you're allotted. Please look at the first vice chair. He's going to have a timer there that will let you know how much time you have left. At this time, we're going to ask for our first speaker, actually, Ms. Bernard. Yeah.
That's me. Thank you. I'm going to totally contradict the safety of the school. I attended the transportation meeting held on December 3rd, and it is my understanding that we are now in a position to submit a recommendation on the lesser of two evils regarding bike lanes in our community. When in actuality, we should be opposing any installation of bike lanes or any changes that will remove parking spots within the community because of the impending construction concerning the non-vital Brooklyn project and the neighboring sites that plan to remove parking spots and relocate bus stops. As a few of us question why the bike lanes were even a suggestion in our area, which Dante summarized, one of the transportation board members made it clear as to why it's really an option. He said there's going to be less parking because this neighborhood is densifying and the people moving in are becoming richer. If we don't build bike lanes, then they're going to buy cars and they're going to park them in the street, and they're not going to be able to park your car in the street anyway. He continued to say that the 9-unit building where he lives was once a single-family home with a driveway and a garage, and the new units cost close to $1 million each. So they're going to be able to afford cars. I'm aware that the protected bike lanes are still in the plans that DOT submitted for our review. And Transportation Committee feels that if we do not respond with a revised revision to DOT, that it will appear as if we could leave ourselves open and be subjected and green-light to DOT's plans. But I ask CB9, instead of making revision to the plan, that we work with city agencies like DOT, DOB, DCP, to name a few, to take a comprehensive, detailed look at the community so we can coordinate and develop a comprehensive, cohesive plan involving the initiatives that will impact our community. The Transportation Committee has inflated the accident stats to mislead the public into believing the area around Wingate School is in dire need of safety improvements, and has demonstrated the need to create its own agenda, which conflicts with the Vision Zero study that they have not listened to the community or continue to operate in a rogue status, pushing for their own agenda. And you already heard the quote tonight. I ask that a board member make a motion to oppose any and all bike lanes installed within our community at this time, just at this time, until a better plan is created involving the community input and impending changes that will arise due to ongoing construction. If there are no painted bike lanes, would the biker not drive on that street? Of course they would. But we just heard Dante say, because the school asked, he acted upon. The community was not involved in that. Put bike lanes, I agree, later on. Do it when we can accommodate them, especially when there's going to be a lot of construction going on. They're taking away a lot of parking spots already as it is. Let's work together. Let's work with the city agencies, what will be better for this community? Thank you, and Happy New Year and Happy Holidays to everyone.
Okay, at this time, we'll also hear from Tony Williams.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Good evening, my name is Tony Williams, and I've been a member in Crown Heights community for 44 years. And the reason why I'm here is a few things. First of all, I heard that White Castle was going to be demolished in my neighborhood, Empire Boulevard, and housing was going to be put there. We have enough housing in Empire Boulevard. Right now, it's looking like downtown Brooklyn. And not only do we have enough housing, we have mental illness housing and homelessness housing living amongst us. And we didn't know until the last minute. So what I want to ask the community board is how to publicly make your meetings more accessible to more people in the community. Because I found out about this through the grapevine and how to get much more people in the grapevine, because I don't want this to feel like an oligarchy where a few is governing many, because I know Crown Heights, we're from PS 221. I know it has to be a lot of vocal people, grown-ups out there who have something to say and want to be a part of this also. So how to get this more visible to the mass, well, we can't do the masses because everybody ain't gonna come, but how to get it where this is filled up, like graduation. Because to get rid of White Castle and then put housing, and I know the housing they're gonna put is not gonna be for people of color, and it's not gonna be for people who need it. So I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off, and I know I shouldn't be pissed off, but I was here when they took the skating ring away, and that was a landmark. And I feel like my community is just getting snatched from up under me. Like in the next 10 years, it's just going to be storages, mental health housing, and that's it.
And rich.
That's it. That's all that's going to be in Brooklyn, and rich people. And we're going to have to go where? Because my husband and I was just at a city hall fight the other day because they slipped in a bill for the homeowners, and with that bill was to allow Airbnbs in the apartment buildings. So yes, I feel for homeowners. I do feel that homeowners should be able to have Airbnbs in their houses. But in that same bill was put it in the apartment buildings. I don't want to, because the World Cup is coming, I don't want a whole bunch of neighbors, people coming into my building, you know? And I feel helpless and hopeless. And I know many people feel that way. So moving forward for the new year, how to get this meeting out to the masses without going online and subscribing. How do we move forward after this? And thank you, and happy Hanukkah, and happy New Year, and Merry Christmas to everyone.
Thank you very much for the comment. Very briefly, I know the board of public commentary, but I just want to say thank you for coming out this evening, you and your husband. And this is part of what we're trying to do as a board. We understand we're not everywhere we need to be or want to be. So thank you for coming out. And part of what I always ask is for the board members and residents, members of the community. We need you to tell your neighbors, we need you to tell, put up flyers, we need you to pass the information. There's a lot of information that we pass when we're here. There's a lot of stuff that we also have on our e-blast that comes out every week. So these meetings come out, we have committee meetings where we talk about these things specifically. And if we're not talking about them, please come to the committee meetings to make sure that they become part of the conversation. But please check in with our district manager or the district team and they can get your information, and we can talk about ways to make sure that we're getting out there. The one thing I want to say is that we don't always know what we don't know, so thank you very much for bringing this to our attention. And we're not everywhere we would like to be. So thank you for coming, and we hope that you'll be able to take part of CB9 out with you wherever you go, and invite people to come to the spaces. So hallelujah, really feel like graduation.
And stay pissed off.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes, you are not helpless and do not lose hope. Thank you very much. Okay, and we're looking forward to seeing you again.
You will, us together. Thank you.
All right, next we have Kadeem, is it Carlene? I'm sorry? Kadeem, I'm sorry. Kadeem Phillip. Please give me the lights.
Hello, good evening, everybody. My name is Kadeem Phillip. I am a parent ambassador representing Brooklyn Dreams Charter School. We're a tuition-free charter school that's in Brooklyn, New York. We actually reside on Parkville Avenue, which is kind of more towards Flatbush, but it's off of Coney Island Avenue. We are tuition-free, like I said. We offer free busing, transportation for students. We also offer very much special things to IEPs, 12-in-1 classes, special education. We do offer speech therapy, and we are trying our best to expand our kind of network here in Brooklyn. I am new to the parent ambassador role. I'm about to make 6 months, but I want to make sure to make a good impression in expanding to as many communities as possible, because not many people know that they have this here within the neighborhoods. So I'm also putting together events. Right now we have a toy and gift drive. We're about to have a jacket drive with the weather getting a little bit more colder. Right now we're putting together also a self-care day for students and young teens in regards to learning to take care of their hair as well as taking care of themselves. We want to promote as many things as possible, and I would love to have anyone that is here come and be a part of any of the events that we will be putting together. So, once again, Brooklyn Dreams Charter School, you can Google us. We have, if you have anyone from K to 8 that you know may be looking for a school in 2026, for 2027, 2026, 2027, you can book a tour. I will be giving you a private tour, and yes, we'd love to have you.
Thank you very much. All right, and again, if you have any events or anything of that nature, please make sure you stay in touch with the district office, because that way we can put it as part of our district. All right, at this time, we have Sarah Johnson.
Hi, my name is Sarah Johnson. I'm a community member, and it's my first board meeting, but I'm hosting a food drive and just want to get the word out. It's at Stubel on Nostrand Ave, and it's this Wednesday. All of the donations will go directly to the Methodist Church on Fenimore and Bedford. It's the ladies in waiting food pantry in there. The nicest people, and they need donations. Come on out, we'll give you free beer. But more importantly, I'm really hoping to expand this bigger, get it into more community spaces that are open to hosting these. From what I understand, it was also a good night for the bar when we did this last month, which was our first time doing it. So, you know, it's good for business, but mostly we're here to get resources from our community to get back to our community. And so anybody who wants to stop by would be greatly appreciated. I'm going to leave these flyers on the, I think, the resource table. The first one has my phone number on it. I'm happy to do local pickups. Just come by and take whatever you have. If we have donations, we can't make it to the event. The other ones, I know there's some business owners in the meeting, so if you are open to taking a flyer and spreading the word, that's great. If not, obviously no problem. Just wanted to share, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay, for our last speaker, we have Dr. Rafai.
Good evening, everyone. How are you doing? My name is Dr. Sahil Rafai. I have the privilege and honor of serving this community in both the emergency departments of Downstate Hospital and Kings County Hospital. So, there is a problem. Kings County, obviously, the community relies on the hospital, but we also rely on you. As you all know, Downstate Hospital almost closed, and the community at large helped prevent that from happening. Right now, we're asking for your help again. Our administration is planning on renovating our CT scanner. However, they do not have an effective and safe backup plan for the internet. We are about to lose our CAT scan machine in months. Presently, the CAT scan is about 5 feet away from our trauma bay. We send patients there on the regular, patients that are suffering from stroke, from trauma, children with illnesses. And in all of these cases, we get these scans done in minutes, seconds to minutes. Presently, the administration is proposing that for 3 to 6 months, we give up the CT scan while it is being renovated and take our patients to another department on another floor. This will put lives at risk. So as a community, we are asking for your help to prevent this from happening. And the reason why we're coming to the public is because as frontline workers, the nurses, techs, staff, and doctors of Kings County have banded together and attempted to reason with administration and ask them, hey, can we delay this? Can we find a safer alternative? And at every avenue and every junction, we have received pushback and canceled meetings. So now we're turning to the community for help. This period of renovation could last 3 to 6 months. I do not have the numbers for you, but that is hundreds of traumas, hundreds of strokes that will be affected negatively by this proposal. So, 5 reasons why this is dangerous. First, they have not proposed any way for us to safely monitor and transport our patients to these remote CT scanners in the way that we can do while they're in the emergency department. They're proposing that we take staff away from the emergency department during this period of time, and that is not safe for all of our patients, including the ones that will require these scans. There is no plan for what to do when there are multiple emergencies. This is something that happens routinely, and we have multiple CT scans for this reason. But taking out the primary CT scan in the emergency department prevents us from being able to manage this appropriately. Additionally, there is not enough nursing staff to cover both the CT scan room upstairs and the emergency department. There are no dedicated clinical staff in this area. There is not a dedicated Pyxis machine that is full of the medications we need. There is not equipment that we need to resuscitate a crashing patient. It is unsafe. There is also the fact that the entire hospital relies on these remote CT scanners. So there is no plan in place for what to do when these CT scans are in use, resulting in delays for our patients that are ill. And finally, there is no plan on how to respond if a patient starts crashing within the CT scanner, which is something that happens regularly. Something that is very easy to respond to when the CT scan is 5 seconds away from the trauma bay. So just a few reasons why this is a very bad idea. We have solutions, and we have proposed these solutions, and we have been told no at every junction. First, as happened at Downstate, when their CT scan went down, we proposed that we have a mobile CT scan. This is something that they can do. They're just not willing to take the expense or time to plan it correctly. Second, we proposed that during the interim time, we have 24/7 staff, as you do in an emergency department, in this area of the hospital where the CT scan backup will be placed. And finally, we are requesting real safety protocols to be put in place. Right now, the only proposal that we're getting from management is that they give us more transporters, which is wonderful. Our transporters work very, very hard to get patients to where they need to go. However, that is not enough. We need frontline staff with patients that are at risk. Thank you so much to the community board for their support. I appreciate all of you. We have reached out to other members of our governing bodies, including our mayor-elect, including our public representatives, including Borough Hall. And all of them support us in this initiative. All of them agree that this is not safe. But I am asking you as the public, our community that we rely upon, to make your voice heard, because it does affect change. You can reach the people in power and change their minds. To this end, how can we help? Our wonderful community board has, I think, put a letter up for voting today, or? Got you, okay. In addition to that, we have 2 links, which I will give to you, that have direct links to an email that is pre-filled out that you just have to submit your name with. That will go straight to NYC HHC. In addition to that, there is a second link which will let you call our CEO, Dr. Katz, directly. I highly encourage you to do this. It changes things. Thank you again. Your voice matters. I appreciate you as the community that I serve, and it's an honor to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all the work you do in our hospital.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I will give the link to Dante, I believe, and he will distribute it. I think there's more questions. Because I do need to go.
Okay, well, all right. We'll take the one question very quickly and we'll do it.
Hi. As a healthcare worker, I work in the underground. So I know what you're talking about.
Right.
So did you call your representatives? Because right now, 1199 and DC 37, and all of us are planning a trip to Albany to see Kirkland about the Medicaid cuts. You need to call them.
Yes, ma'am.
And call your representatives. Everybody in here, you need to call your representatives.
Yes, ma'am.
And your congressmen. Because they're the ones that can help you. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
You need to call them, because I'm letting everybody in here know, call your representatives and your congressmen, because besides what he's going through with the CAT scan and short of staff, they can really cut the Medicaid. $1 trillion, and it will affect everybody in here, whether you say it or not. Okay? So let's get real. Doesn't matter what color you are, or what religion or nothing, it doesn't matter. He's cutting $1 trillion. The hospitals is getting ready to cut, and some are getting ready to close. And if you do that $1 trillion cut, they are going to close. And it's going to be harder for you the help that you need for that tax bill.
All right, thank you very much, Doctor. Thank you. Okay. All right, that concludes our public comment period. Again, I want to thank all the speakers for coming to us with your concerns and issues. We encourage you to continue to do so. So anytime there's something in the community, please come and share. If it's an issue or if it's good things that we're trying to get out there, we'll try to pass the word. And again, I ask for everyone to serve as ambassadors. We are not everywhere we want to be, so we count on everyone sharing with networks, sharing with neighbors, taking information to your places of worship, taking information to senior citizen centers and places where people can find out about the different programs and services that are happening. Again, thank you very much. All right, at this time we are now going to go to acknowledgments. At this time, we have a representative from the Borough President's Office.
My name is Katrina. Can you guys hear me? My name is Katrina. I'm from the Office of Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso. I just have a couple of announcements. So legislative update, introduction 1482. Last week, in collaboration with Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso, Councilmember Crystal Hudson, and Councilmember Sandy Nurse introduced Introduction 1482 legislation that will require the New York City Department of Housing Preservation and Development and landlords to provide financial assistance to qualifying low-income tenants who are displaced by housing demolition, substantial rehabilitation, change of use, or removal of rent or income restriction. The bill is to be discussed in the Borough President's 2025 Comprehensive Plan, which is available on our website, brooklynbp.nyc.gov. Community board applications for 2026 are live until February 6th. I've left some little pamphlets with Allison. She has them on her information table. Anybody over the age of 16 or older who lives, works, or has some significant interest in community can serve on a community board. So pass on the word. And that's really it. And I also want to mention, as to support the community board, whenever I get constituents from CB9 that may not know about community board meetings, I will do my best to push that and advertise for you guys. And this is my second meeting, and thank you for your service and being here. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we didn't scare you away last time. Okay. Next, we also have a representative from Senator Zelma Myers' office.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Portia Edwards. I'm the District Director for Senator Myers' office. Happy holidays to everyone celebrating whatever holiday we're celebrating. Happy holidays. Just a couple of announcements. We have a couple of events coming up within the next couple of days, so just keep your ears and eyes open for some flyers. We have one here. The first one is happening this Sunday. We're partnering with Grandma's Hands and Food Foundation to do an event called Holiday at the Museum. It's a toy giveaway. It's happening this Sunday from 11 to 2 at 200 Eastern Parkway. So please come out. We'll be giving away toys and lots of other things, books, clothes, a lot of things. So absolutely come out if you need anything. Just come and enjoy the fun. Right after that, we are also partnering with IGCC. I'm not sure if Arna was here earlier, but we will be partnering with them to do a tabling and giveaway at Evans Field in the courtyard. This is the flyer, if you guys have seen it. It's kind of green, you can come and pick one up. And that's starting at 11 a.m. To 1 p.m. It might rain that day, so the rain date is going to be on December 18th. The next event after that is the next day. We're doing a Santa meet and greet with Lasante from 1 to 4 at Lasante, which is on Parkside, 672 Parkside and the corner of Nostrand Avenue. So bring your kids out. There's going to be food. There's going to be meet and greet with Santa. There's going to be toys.
Excuse me, for the interpreter, where was that, please, the name of the place?
Lasante Health Center.
L-A-S-A-N-T-A. Thank you.
Lasante Health Center. And the address to that place is 672 Parkside Avenue. I'll talk a little bit slower. And then on the 19th, we are partnering with Project Echo to do a Christmas toy and coat drive, which will be located at 887 Utica Avenue in front of Project Echo in our district, and that's from 3 to 6 p.m. A lot of things happening. There will be a lot of flyers. There will also be in our email blast, so if you do not get our emails, we send out an email blast once a week. We sent out this week, I think it was today, like 1 o'clock. You can always email me to get on the email blast. My email is Pete Edwards, P like Peter, Edwards @nysenate.gov. You can always call the office if you have any questions or concerns or any constituent concerns that you need help with. The office number is 718-284-4700 to make an appointment. Happy holidays, and I hope you guys have a great New Year. Also, very important note, our office will be closed for the holidays from the 22nd until January 5th. We will be open back again on January 5th. So starting December 22nd, the office will be closed and we will not reopen until January 5th. That's all. Have a great holiday, guys.
Thank you very much. Happy holidays. Okay. Let me just make the last call. Are there any other representatives from elected? No, I got you. No, I just wanted to make sure there was nobody else. Are there any other representatives from elected officials, offices, or organizations? Okay, hearing none. Last but definitely not least, we have a representative from Councilmember Darlene Newman's office.
All right, y'all gonna be trying to run through it really fast. All right, it's gonna be fast. I got a couple of announcements. First things first, regular announcements. We still have the citizen lawyers in office. People can still come out. We actually have an extra lawyer that came in, so that's making things go through even faster. People are actually starting to come into the office, so that's a good thing. We still have housing going on every Tuesday. We still have Housing Connect going on. A lot of people have been coming out for that too. Thank you guys. Also, our monthly CAB meeting is going to be this Saturday, 11 o'clock to 12:30. Boots on the ground is still going on. We are now offering sign language They're teaching sign language to the seniors in the music, which is really great.